So, now we have got our little starting area thereabouts complete. Few little bits and bobs that I'd like to quickly add on just to spruce it up a little bit. Like, I don't like these tall edges at the edge. I think that was a slightly bad idea. I think they should at least be there, and then it kind of seems to fit in a bit better. Go back to, where's hedge gone? Hedge. I could type it in, but it takes so long. There we go, hedge, and then we use these little topiary bits. Topiary. Is that's all? There we go, topiary cubes to kind of add a little bit of detail on the edges there. Added some benches and some bins, and I think the last thing we can do here, other than adding a small fir tree, is there a small fir tree? There we go, we can pop one of these in there and there. That just fills that gap. And then also some fences. We're missing some iron fences there actually, aren't we? Iron fence there, and we'll just plop these around this fir tree. Keep up the theme. There we go. Awesome. Last thing we want to do here is put in some lamps around the edges. Yeah, let's use these double ones, and we'll put 4 around like that. There we go. So we've got lighting, we've got benches, we've got bins. That was the only bits we didn't have in this little area. So this is all prepped and ready now to steal everybody's money when they're either entering or leaving the park. And that's, you know, what a theme park is about. It's about shaking the money out of people using large contraptions, or just making them really desperate to the toilet and then making them pay a lot of money. Although I don't think you can change the money. People have to pay to go into the toilet, so maybe that's something that will be added, maybe not. Anyway, our entranceway is now complete, so we now need to think about, well, making some more stuff for our guests to do, which is cool. So that includes obviously attractions and roller coasters, but it also, you know, includes making the place look good, and I'm all for making the place look good. So today I think we should look into the terraforming and modular building aspects before we start actually plopping down attractions, so we can make a cool looking environment of which we can then place our attractions in and make a really stunning, awesome little park. Also, had a suggestion in the comments, which I flipping love, which is naming things. So we are going to name the balloons kiosk the Moon. And the reason is, it's a bit of a plug for one of my other series, Kerbal Space Program, but everything always flies off the moon and it gets hellish and lots of people die. Actually, no one's died, but there's 2 people stranded there. Go check it out. But someone asked if we could call the balloon stand the Moon because all of the balloons flew away when we first placed it down. If you have any other suggestions for any other things we put in the park, I don't know if we can rename things like this. No, we can't. So you can't name a trash can. I'm sorry if that was your, you know, only desire in life, to name a trash can or a lamp or a tree. We can't do that, but we can name buildings and probably people. Nope. Yeah, scrap that again. Again, can't name normal workmen because they're already named. It's a shame. I know. I'm sorry. It's just not there. So anyway, going on to modular building and terraforming. We'll deal with terraforming second because it can affect building, and I'll explain why in a second, and it can affect the building that I want to do even more. Not that I've tested it, might have tested it, might have not gone very well. So let's have a look at all the walls and stuff we have for the modular building. These are all the walls we have. We have wall bottoms, wall edges, wall corners, wall doors, wall windows, all of this stuff. It's grand, but you can basically only build the, well, churches and castles. So let's build a freaking castle. Why not? It's gonna be awesome. So, okay, castle's gonna be big. What we're gonna do first is have a look at the park in map view. This is something I didn't show off last time. You have these kind of snap 90 degrees points, but if you notice, it does actually spin. It's not like it's just changing the images it's showing you. And that's because this whole game is actually generated in 3D, which is freaking awesome. So if you press Alt and then middle mouse button, you can actually spin around, look up and down, and this is what's called map view. It's basically top-down mode, and it's really cool because it means you can see your whole part from above and you can kind of plan things out, which is exactly what we're going to do. Now we're going to use one of the first terraforming tools, actually it's the second in the list if you want to go chronologically, to map an area we're going to build the castle in. And we're going to build it just off of here because there isn't much space the other side, and I'm probably going to build some hills and stuff to kind of hide the edge of the park around here, and then some generic-y rides here, and then a big castle and pirate ships and stuff, and some kind of roller coaster in the castle as well, because I think that would be really cool. So there are loads of different terrain types in terms of colouring in terrain. I'll go over that later in the video after we've built the castle. To start with, let's map out where we actually want to plot the castle down. So I want a moat around the castle as well. So we've got to leave enough space to actually have a moat. So 1, 2, 3, that can be the moat there. That will be the edge. So let's go like... Is that enough squares? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I think that will be enough squares. Now let's take it along about, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm not reading from something that I've already made, so this goes to plan at all. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We need 2 more. Don't listen to this. This is completely off my own head. Not, as I said, haven't got a predetermined 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Oh, it's 14 that side. Interesting. Plan at all. No predetermined plans. 4, 8, 10, 12, 14. So, this is the grid that I've just randomly come up with, of which we're going to build the castle in. And it's going to look freaking cool. We're going to have enough room to put a moat around it, and we're not going to take out any paths or shops trying to do that. Good. Now, I've decided I'm going to do this in a kind of time-lapsey bit. We'll start off not with a time-lapse, and I'll just show you the different building stuffs. And then I'll probably move into a time-lapse just because it's going to take a long time to build this castle, because I might have a slight idea of what I'm going to do, and I might not. I have the floor plan, so I know where everything's going to go, but other than that, it is really down to my own imagination, and although I don't think it's bad, it works really, really bloody slowly, and you'd be here for the next 3 hours if you actually wanted to watch every single step. Do tell me if you do want to spend 3 hours watching every single step, and then I'll not do time-lapses, and I'll just let you sit there and watch. Anyway, onwards. There is lots of different types of walls, and they have different features about them. You have standard walls, which look like this, with bits of features on, and then you have unfeatured bits of the walls, and then you have those same walls again, but with little trims around the bottom, because they're the bottoms of the walls. You also have bottoms of walls with a top trim, and normal walls with a top trim, so you can have, like, trimmed versions of each. That actually has the bottom bit as well. I wanted that one. There we go. See? So that doesn't have a trim at the bottom. It has to start bloody raining just as I'm about to build, doesn't it? I might quickly skip the rain. Give me 2 ticks. Oh, and thank Christ for that. That wasn't 5 minutes of a torrential downpour that I just had to sit and watch. So, walls, they have trims, they have bottoms. It's the same with the windows. Again, you have the windows, you have the textured windows, the untextured windows, the topped windows, the untopped windows, the topped doors, the untextured doors, and you've got actually quite a few different doors as well. Actually, it's the same door, but again, it's textured, non-textured, trimmed, and topped. And you have those 3 variants of all the different types, and you also have these corner pieces, again, trimmed, topped, bottomed, stuffed, none with windows in, which I would like to see, and you also have this circular corner one, and I don't believe the circular corner one actually comes with a textured variant. It is only on its Todd with just like plain smooth edges. So before we get building the castle, I must give you one very key important piece of information if you're actually about to build a castle, or maybe follow along building this castle. If you want to build anything underground or above something else, you only have to press shift and move up, and as you can see, it will tell you how far up you are and how far down you are, and it all goes grey. That's the reason I can't do the terraforming before I do the building, because if there's a funny edge, it means that it flashes grey all the time, and if I'm actually going to make a time-lapse out of it, it looks terrible. Right, so I'm now going to get on and build the castle. I haven't got a clue how long it's going to take me, but what I'll do is I'll turn that into a time-lapse with some other little bits, because I'd like to do a time-lapse of the entire castle build with attractions and all. So now we'll skip forward to the terraforming, and I'll show you how that is done. And there we have it, one complete castle with extra explosion damage from a soon-to-be-placed pirate ship. So that is some of the stuff you can do with the modular building tools within the game. As you can see, works really well for castles. And if I don't say so myself, I think it looks pretty freaking cool. If there's anything you think I can improve, let me know in the comments. That would be really useful. And yeah, we should now have a look at the terrain tools. So, terrain tools down here called Terraforming. There are 4 different things you can look at. You have the normal terraforming, and what this is it allows you to raise, lower the land, or to flatten the land. To raise or lower the land, it's a simple case of just clicking on the square you want to, pulling up or pulling down, and you can see it just lifts and lowers the ground. If you want to just work with one corner, you slide this little slider down to nothing, and then you'll start pulling up and down just the one corner. And obviously if you want to work with a bigger amount of land, you can just use the slider. At the moment, this doesn't actually cost anything, which is kind of useful. I did also have to pause my game while I was building the castle due to the fact that the staff were getting really annoying with their little noises. So let's have a look at the flatten tool. First, let's make a bit of a mess with the non-flatten tool. There we go. That looks horrible, and I want to flatten it. So what I do is I pick the tile that I want to flatten it to, and I click and drag. Boom. Gone. Also, awesome. It also gets rid of plants. Just little side note there. So we've also looked at this tool before. It's the colouring terrain tool. You have grass, sand, this kind of grey stuff, pure whiteness, like reddish rock, dirty kind of grass, and then what looks like cork or leaves. I think it's meant to be leaves, so there we go. That's cool. Again, you can just erase that with the normal grass. We'll probably add some normal grass back around the edge of our castle as well while we've got the tool open. I'll do it kind of sporadically. Let's put some more of that back actually there. There we go. Around the edge. There we go. It makes it sits it into the surroundings a little bit better, which is nice. The next tool is the water tool. To use this, we need an actual hole in the ground. So again, let's just build a quick hole in the ground. There we go. Let's build a deeper hole next to it. And then you go to the water tool, and you just go along the edge of a hole, and as you can see, it fills it with water. To actually place the water, you have to left click, and to remove water, it's right click. So you can place the water wherever you want to. So let's go like that. There we go. Looks awesome. In the deeper holes, obviously, it goes darker, which shows you the kind of depth, but you can kind of still make it out pretty well. And to get rid of water, it's just a right click. So let's flatten this off and start having a look at the moat for the castle. Okay, we have to be quite careful with this castle moat. I want it fairly big, but obviously I don't want to destroy the actual castle in the process of building it. So, let's have a look at making this moat. Right, where do we want it to start? Probably about here. You've got to remember that the 4 tiles here, if I pull down these 4 tiles, these are going to be slopes, and these are going to be slopes, and that will be a quarter slope. So, let's put it to 1 and pull down this tile here and just see what happens. Okay, so that gives a 1 edge around there. That's pretty good. I'm okay with that. I've just got to be blooming careful around this bit. Let's make it a bit wider here and pull down these. There we go. Okay, let's bring the moat this way. Ooh, it's a bit close to that tower there, so we'll pull that up. There we go. I just done the same thing. There we go. Right. Okay, and we'll pull this down here because we need a bit of a thicker moat. Whoa, it's a big hole. It can be kind of tricky to get it to go up and down 1 tile. If that's something that I'd like the devs to have a look into, that would be my only ask, that this could be made a little bit easier to do. Instead of having to worry about large amounts of land kind of flying off in random directions. Okay, so let's go back to the 1 tile square, and we'll continue making the moat around there. I've redone this bit again, haven't I? Right, let's go back to 1. There we go. Let's just sort this out. Bring that corner up. There we go. Bring that corner up. and bring that corner up. There we go. We've got a little bit of space around the actual tower. We'll come back here. We'll spin it around so we can see what we're doing a bit better. Put that back down to 1. Bring that down there. Bring that down there. Awesome. And we'll continue going along here, like so. Again, avoiding this tower because we don't want to come up too close to it. So we'll bring it down here. And we'll go there. And then that's going to be too close. We'll go there. Awesome. And continue. Pull that one down there. So we'll go there and then there. And then we'll keep making our way around. Let's use a slightly bigger tool here, because obviously I want space for a pirate ship, which has caused this damage to the outside of the castle that you can see. Like that. Well, we'll leave it as a deep hole. Why not? Pirate ship's got to actually sit somewhere. So there we go. So there's a little bit of a lake almost off this back edge. Let's pull down some of these middle tiles as well. There we are, like so, and continue this round this way. Awesome. We can also pull into the castle one more here. Just get quite close to the wall. There we are. Pull away there. Won't do it too even. Won't worry too much about that, as it makes it a little bit more... Ooh, that's a bit too close. There we go. Makes it a little bit more ununiform, makes it look like it's more of a moat, basically. And we'll get quite close to the door here as well, because we want this to be a drawbridge. I might actually pull it all the way like that, and then that will be more drawbridgey. Pull away from the tower here, and we'll link back up there. There we go. There's our moat. I think that looks pretty goddamn awesome, actually. Let's pull this down here and try and make this a bit more ununiform. Not too deep though, and not too high. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. So there's our moat around our castle. Let's get the water tool and let's fill it up. Not too high. I want a bit of an edge. I'm going to say about there. Awesome. So there's our moat around our castle. Do I want to pull this in a bit here? I think I do. I do want to pull this in a bit more. There we go. I think that looks alright. Let's pull that corner up though. That one there. Cool. Bit more texture to it. Lovely. Right. Last terraforming tool we need to look at is zones. What this is it means you can zone off parts of your park, like so. This is now zone 1. I believe you can change the names of the zone, so I could do entrance there, and then this would be called entrance, and you could also change the color of the zone, like so. And then what you can do is you can go into your staff roster, click on a staff member, and you can assign them to a zone here. So you can say they're only allowed around the entrance zone. And obviously that means that you can I don't think you can unassign staff though, so do be aware of that. Can't re-click it. That means you can assign your staff members to different zones and they'll stay in those zones, and you can micromanage the park that way. We'll remove that zone. There we go. So that is the different zones. So there we have it. There's the terraforming tools and the modular building tools. Next we will look at placing our first attractions down, being the swinging chairs and the pirate ship, I think, out the back here. And also thinking about building a roller coaster. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little build, and I will see you next time. Bye!